name is Shane O'Neill, and this is my 2013 Moto Guzzi V7 Racer. So I can start off when I bought the bike. I bought the bike back in, I believe, 2016 when my dad was doing a checkup on his beloved Piaggio scooter that he had. And I saw this bike in the very back of the dealership, and I loved how the way it looked with the chrome tank and the red frame it had. So with much research, we ended up coming back to the shop, and we ended up picking the bike up. And I was very content with the bike stock look at first. I loved how it felt and how it performed. But eventually, after a while, I thought that it needed a little bit more towards it. So we ended up small with dropping the big mirrors it had to bar-end mirrors. And we changed out the original OEM pipes to Mistral pipes. And that we took off the back fender that came onto it. But we eventually, after all that, I thought that it still needed a little bit more towards it. So I did much research on like vintage cafe racers, and I stumbled upon BAAK Moto based in France, and I loved how they had their V7 Racer there, and they had the perfect vision that I had for creating this bike. So I can start on from moving from the front and move my way down towards the back of what I had done towards it with all the BAAK parts. So starting from the front, I changed the original Moto Guzzi wheels to these Avon street tires that gave it more of a retro looking aesthetic towards it, and I also love how it feels when it comes towards turning and performance. It made the bike perform a lot better, and overall it's a lot grippier of a tire. We went a little back a little further. I switched out the front mudguard to this brushed mini front mudguard from BAAK that gave the bike a lighter feel and also matched the chrome tank. The most expensive part were these Olin forks. So I felt that the old forks made the bike feel very unstable when it comes to turning and performance. So we switched over to these Olin forks that overall made the bike look a lot better, a lot prettier, more simple. But overall, it's for performance issues. And with these new forks, it gave the bike a beefier feel. I can take the bike onto corners a lot faster, and it just made it feel a lot more stable. Moving a little further back was the headlight. So the headlight is all brand new. Took out the entire old headlight and took out the original Moto Guzzi gauge cluster too. And everything here is all integrated into one unit. Here, the headlight and the new gauge here, which only tells me my speed and my RPM in a digital analog here. The glass, the front, I switched it over to a Lucas P700 glass with this triangle shape area, make it very, very vintage and unique. The bulb, I switched over to a yellow bulb to make it a very unique retro cafe racer. The brake and clutch levers here are gold, mostly for aesthetic, nothing really about that. I just liked how they looked with the gold head unit here. I had my builder who helped me create the bike in my garage for about 4 months. Had his emblem engraved up here into the brake reservoir and chrome again to match the tank. Moving a little back further, you can see that I have my V7 Racer badge up here. I actually lost it when I was building it. The whole thing came off and broke, so I redid a brand new one. And you can see I have number 582 of the 2013 Moto Guzzis that were built in that year. The tank is the original tank. Except I brushed the bulges here that I got from BAAK. BAAK had their bulges brushed as well, except one you can see on mine. I ended it here. I had like a ghost fade. I believe on BAAK they had theirs bolted to the front. Again, also the bar end mirrors. That was the original thing that we did on the first that we did. Nothing too big about those. The cylinder heads here. So the cylinder heads are on mine when I first bought the bike were faded, so I painted them a nice gloss black and brushed the view part here, make it more unique feel towards them. And now these are the pipes, which I love these pipes a lot more than the original Mistrals, because the Mistrals came out really far out back here, and I thought they made the bike look very heavy, and these pipes here were short and a lot lighter. It made the bike look a lot lighter and a lot more simple. And the overall note of these pipes made the bike, I feel like, more aggressive and a very unique bike when it tends to zoom by. And then eventually I'll turn the bike and I'll show you how it sounds. But overall, I love these pipes here. The overall aesthetic towards them and the whole sound of it. It's just an amazing feel to ride it. A little further back, all these panels here, this one here, here, and on the other side were chrome, but I painted them to black. The bag here came from BAAK and was attached to here. I put passenger pegs for anyone back that wants in the back of the bike. The seat came from BAAK. I believe on the website they have just a one-person seat, but I actually got the 1.5 person seat so I can fit a passenger, hence the passenger pegs. The back shocks here are actually the original shocks. I kept the original shock. I did actually switch over to a new one that BAAK had, but they were too short, so I ended up going back with these ones to level out the front and back end. Moving out back a little further back, I have my new my brake light back here that I took away from the old one that used to stick out a lot. So this is a whole integrated LED strip with both brake and turn signals attached towards it. So it's all one unit. Really nice. It makes it very clean and simple. Except you can see here, I live in Arizona, as you can see that the heat kind of warped a little bit, but it's easy to change out. Moving down to my license plate, I took the license plate off and I put it onto the side and curved it around, make a unique feel and lighter overall on the back end. Lastly, I have here, which I forgot to talk about, is my ignition switch. The ignition switch, used to be up here in the front, and I took it off and put it into the side of the bike here to make it more simple and lighter in the front, and I thought it made it look a lot more unique put inside the bike. But yes, that is it. That's my entire build of the bike. It took about 4 months to create, and I'm overall satisfied with the customer service that BAAK has. As you can see, I'm over here at their LA workshop, and they allow me to keep my bike here on display, and wherever any issues I have with the bike, they would look over it, and they respond very easily, and I'm overall pleased with all the parts here. Everything here feels very mass-produced, stable, and overall, I get so many views of this bike, and I absolutely love it. So I can go start up now how the bike sounds. So give you guys a little brief down how it sounds here.